So I have some notes which sort of um, go on the side of just Gemini season. So you can easily say within 30-day periods where the sun is in Taurus, for instance, oh, I'm a Taurus. However, today's the cusp. It's when I'm filming this audio recording. May 20th. May 20th. And you could either be a Taurus or you could be a Gemini on that day. It just depends on the time of when you were born. It really comes down to that. Because sometimes the sun can enter Gemini earlier in the day than, another year. Or another, astrological cusp day. Today is a cusp day. And the sun's going to enter Gemini in the evening tonight. So tune in for that. You can go to Natal Birth Chart Calculator and find that it's actually going to be at 8:12 this evening that the sun's going to be entering Gemini. So talking about these two energies of Taurus and Gemini. So the host of Chopped, Ted Allen, was born today, so I just want to acknowledge happy birthday, born on May 20th. And I think I can talk in depth about the Taurus Sun and Moon horoscope and also the Gemini Sun and Moon horoscope. Tomorrow is going to be easier energies. Because the sun's going to move into Gemini and the moon's going to be in Aquarius, so that's going to be a double air day where we can really rise above the fray and gain perspective and have fun. Tomorrow will be a very fun day for me because I have some plans. And then the day after, on the 22nd, is a very significant day in my life, and it's quite a special one. And the moon's going to be entering Pisces, and Jupiter's been in Pisces for several months out of this year, and it's now in Aries, so we can begin again. I can certainly begin again with a new chapter in my lives and all of our lives. And so I just have some mental notes that I just want to say here. So, the sun moon are squaring. The last time that this happened was on April 23rd. That was the first day of Taurus season when the sun and moon were squaring. So the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Aquarius. I have a little short tune about it, the old versus the new. This is what it's about. So Taurus is the traditional way of doing things. Aquarius is the more non-traditional way. So Taurus, imagine you have two energies. Taurus wants to stay here in the moment. Let's be steady. Let's be stable. But the moon in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is anything but. It is sudden, abrupt change. And it can be this really uncomfortable energy, sit down, but then, get up and then, do something. Be grounded. This thought or this feeling is sort of coming and it can be sort of, chaotic, conflicting energies. And the moon rules emotions. And what makes us feel emotionally secure. Really getting deep and getting humble. Besides the sun and ego and, getting up in life and showing off, the moon is where it gets honest. And so the moon is in Aquarius. Now the upside Moon in Aquarius is the moon in Aquarius is not caught into the island with all the turbulent stuff going on, the burning forest, or the lightning storms, all the drama, all of that stuff. It is detached and, connected to the emotions, but disconnected to the emotions, where we can use a more lofty, logical approach to our emotions and say, okay, well, I'm feeling this way. This is what I'm feeling. This is what it is, straight on. And how can I change how I'm feeling? What can I do about it? Just very, very objective is what that moon in Aquarius is about. And also, it's very charitable. It's very giving and loving, but in a detached way. So, one-on-one relationships, Aquarius square to Scorpio, getting deep, getting intimate, well, that can be a little bit more difficult, but on the wider range when it comes to sharing and connecting and loving from that perspective, then it's wonderful. And so, merging the two energies together, change with stability. Stability with change. Change with, staying the same. Consistency, variety. Variety with that consistency. Enjoying the moment, thinking about the future just as much as we're enjoying the moment. So these are some of the overlapping sort of parallels and balances that may need to come into play. And so Taurus, Mercury is retrograde. So, it's more of a, reflective time. You can certainly start new things and, all of that, but, it is more sort of thinking about, taking time to really process it and make sure that you want to make this decision with your life. And so both of these signs conflict, Taurus and Aquarius, and they are both fixed signs, so they hold on to things. It is very, very difficult to get out of the little details of the forest, with the individual trees, as opposed to the forest in the way of being adaptable and gaining that new perspective, so stuck in the current perspective. Really, really just immersed and drowned in that, so that can manifest in either healthy ways or not so healthy, not so positive ways. And so the sun is going to change signs into Gemini, and that is going to give much more flexibility, and that's also going to be much more, it's very fun-loving, and it's very, it's breath of fresh air, lighter energy, like very childlike, light, bouncy, jumpy, very, very spontaneous. Let's try this, let's do that, very carefree. And it can be a sigh of relief if, something's going on in your mind or in your life that is difficult to change, difficult to make yourself feel better about this thing, or add something onto it that could alter it in a positive way, or take something away from something. So all of those sorts of things. So, double air, the sun, trying to the moon in the same element would be air. So Gemini is air, Aquarius is an air sign. So air and air, are both really, really incredibly compatible. So it's easier energy to work with, and there could be more of a flow. There could be more of a easy going, like I'm going down the track, and it feels so natural, and it's a smoother ride kind of thing, rather than turbulence and square energy, that 90 degrees Loctite, um, you know, sort of lock in, you know, conflict, like, so one sign is stubborn and the other sign is stubborn, so it's like a, repellent kind of thing, where they're, resisting each other. Like if I were to have two magnets and they repelled each other and I put them together, they'd be resisting instead of merging and coming together. The Gemini and Aquarius is easier. Not that Taurus and Aquarius can't be easier, but it is square and it is more difficult, I would say. But the Gemini and Aquarius, just, those magnets come together because they bond, because that energy is easier and just more compatible. And, in that type of way, there's certainly different types of compatibilities. Maybe Taurus Aquarius is very, very difficult, but in terms of growth, in terms of stretching, in terms of evolution, well, that's where conversations change, and it's all just how you look at it, is, easy when it comes to squares, for instance. But trines are easy, sextiles, so Pisces and Taurus is an example of a sextile. So you have water, Pisces, which is really, really dreamy and very spiritual, and Taurus, which is incredibly stable and loving of the moment. Earth grounds the water so that the water has a surface, and the water, gives it flowers grow, trees grow, plants grow, the grass, nurtures the earth, and water is the emotion, so stability with the emotion, but not getting so sucked into or just carried away with the feelings. Well, how can we ground those things so that it's not just running all over? So those two energies are very, very compatible in that type of way. So the Gemini Aquarius is the fun factor, going on encyclopedias, reading information, reading about heals, possibly reading about new trends, figures in history, going out entertaining, having social gatherings, connecting, sharing stories, learning from others, attending, going to, a museum probably would be great activities to do, to write things down, because Gemini and Aquarius is very verbal energy, very communicative, so anything in the arts of writing, speaking, singing, all those things are going to be amped up in terms of their volume when there is double air in the sky. And breaking down the digits numerologically, so in numerology we have 5 is the month, so May is the 5th month of the numerological year, which, is 2022, 2021, 2020. It begins in January, ends in December. We all know this. And so we have 5 plus 21, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So an 8 attitude, so prosperity, material wealth, spiritual wealth, and you have 8, plus 2 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, so it's 5, so celebration of life, adventures, going out and having fun, big energy. And also, it can be, I'm going to use the word turbulent again, where stuff can happen. Very Uranian, very out of the blue, sudden change. And it can be pretty wild. It's a very alive and very energetic type of energy. So, thank you for tuning in.